Welcome to Sports News. 180 secondary school students will compete at this year's Cycling Challenge in Lagos. At a briefing today, the organizers confirmed that the objective is to discover talents and create more awareness about the sport. And in football, five-time champions Rangers International of Enugu have progressed to the round of 32 of the 2018 ITO Cup. The Flying Antelopes survived the drama of penalty shootouts to edge past lowly Niger Tornadoes Feeders 5-4 after the game had ended goalless at full time. Other former champions Pt.4 also advanced to the round of 32 after their opponents Crime Busters of Enugu failed to show up for the game. The draws for the round of 32 are expected to take place before the end of the week. Over in Europe, France's World Cup winning goalkeeper Hugo Lloris is set to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court in London on Wednesday on drink driving charges. The Tottenham Hotspur star was stopped by police in London on Friday, August the 24th, after a night out with some fellow international teammates. The Spurs keeper was arrested after failing a breathalyzer test and was charged later that day. He has since apologized to his club and family over his actions. That's it on Sports News. It's back to Ijoma with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Authorities in the U.S. states of North and South Carolina have ordered more than 1 million people to evacuate their homes as Hurricane Florence, the most powerful storm to threaten the Carolinas in nearly 3 decades, barrels closer. The storm, packing winds of 130 miles per hour, is expected to make landfall on Friday, September the 14th, most likely in North Carolina near the South Carolina border. In addition to flooding the coast with wind-driven storm surges of seawater as high as 3.7 meters, Florence could drop 20 inches to as much as 30 inches of rain in places, posing the risk of deadly flooding miles inland. There's also a warning that the storm could linger for days after making landfall. The International Criminal Court has responded to a threat by the United States following reports it intends to prosecute American servicemen over alleged detained abuse in Afghanistan. The court promises to continue undeterred in the face of the threats by the U.S., shrugging off the threats in a statement defending itself as an instrument to ensure accountability for crimes that shook the conscience of humanity. The response came after a U.S. National Security Advisor, John Bolton, condemned the ICC, threatening to take action against the world body. Now, scores of migrants have been killed at sea after a vessel they were traveling in capsized off the Libyan coastline. Medical charity Médecins Sans Frontières says 2 rubber boats set off on September the 1st, but one of the vessels deflated and sank. 276 survivors who survived the ordeal were taken to the Libyan port city 100 kilometers southeast of Tripoli. According to the International Organization for Migration, more than 1,500 migrants have died while attempting to cross the Mediterranean so far this year. Many more have been rescued, although Italy, a primary destination for migrants traveling from Libya, has recently started to refuse entry to migrant ships. And the main news again. President Muhammadu Buhari today received nomination forms for his second-term bid from benefactors, and he asked political office holders to place national interest above personal gains. And officials have warned of impending devastation by Hurricane Florence, the most powerful storm to threaten the U.S. East Coast in nearly 3 decades. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Do have a good night.